Hi, everyone. If you're a sensitive or conscious person, you might be asking yourself a question right now. Should I go to the No Kings event, or should I stay home and meditate for peace? This is a question I'm seeing with women in our community because, on the one hand, we care deeply about what's happening in the world, and on the other hand, we want to stay safe and stand in love, not opposition. For many conscious people, protests can feel like stepping into anger or conflict, but there's an important distinction between standing against something and standing for a compassionate world. So in this video, I want to share 3 things that might help you decide, along with one surprising piece of research about how peaceful change actually happens. Now, I'm not here to tell you what to believe politically. Today is about helping you as sensitive, conscious people, as a sensitive person, make a decision that feels aligned with your values and your safety. In our recent Conscious Women survey about how we're experiencing the current socio-political environment, 58% of you said, I feel torn between speaking up and staying safe. And 41% of you said, I feel deeply affected, but don't know where to put my energy. So let's take a look at this, and let's start with your 2 biggest concerns, being safe and standing for rather than against. Wanting to be safe is absolutely reasonable, given what we're seeing on the news, right? The last No Kings rally was held I forget what date, but there were about 2,700 locations and about 7 million people participated. And if you go to the No Kings site, people are encouraged to be peaceful, and overall, they are. But there have been some incidents. In Los Angeles, police used tear gas and rubber bullets, and 14 people were arrested. In Salt Lake City, 1 man was even killed. And people have been hit by cars. So you have good reason to be cautious and concerned. So the question you might ask yourself is, how do I know if I'll be safe? I want to share with you some things that I do, 3 things actually, that I do that have helped me make a decision, and then see if these are helpful to you. The first thing I do, I sit down at a time I'm feeling calm and centered, no judgment, just if I do, fine, if I don't, fine. Calm, no judgment, and usually that's in meditation. And I ask myself, will I be safe? And then I'm still. And I just see what comes through. And that being calm before I ask is an absolute must, because otherwise I'll feel the fear and anxiety I've been wondering about instead of getting an honest response from my physical body and my emotional body, and I pay attention to both. Another thing I do, and this will be days before I need to make a decision. Before I go to sleep, I ask my higher consciousness, show me if this is safe or unsafe for me. And then I take note of my dreams for about 3 to 4 days. It usually takes about that long for your mind and your dreams and your memory to all sync up together, right? So that's why I ask ahead of time. So my higher consciousness, right, and my ability to remember my dreams are hooked up. Okay, third thing I do, and I learned this from a friend. I get still, close my eyes. You can do it with me if you want. And I see or sense or feel, depending upon how your inner senses work or know, this feeling of or this seeing of a golden light from my mind's eye, my body, my being, to the event, back again. And is it safe? And if I'm traveling with someone, I think about both of us at the same time, or the group of us going there. Does it feel good, smooth? Do I see a golden light? Does it feel good to me? And if it does, if everything feels good, then that tells me I'm probably safe to go. And I base my decision on how safe I feel about going. If I don't feel safe or it feels uncertain, I stay home and meditate on peaceful healing thoughts for everyone involved. And when I go for a couple of reasons. Mostly for me, I'm personally committed to taking a stand. When I see something that needs to change, I want to show up for it. And I learned something that really surprised me that I want to share with you. Political scientist Erica Chenoweth with Maria Stephan analyzed 300 nonviolent and violent campaigns that were going on in the world between 1900 and 2006. And here's what they discovered. When you have sustained, when you have sustained nonviolent movements with at least 3.5% of the population, and they're consistently campaigning and creating rallies, 3.5% of the population, they are successful in creating major political change. And here's the part I love the most. These protests were 2 times more likely to succeed when they were peaceful. In the US, that's about 12 million people. And to give you a measurement, the last No Kings event for people, and it was the largest so far, had 7 million people. So we're on our way. It's been growing by millions every time. It's growing, and peaceful protest works. When I first learned about this research, it helped me understand something really important about being a conscious person in times like these. Many people, particularly spiritual people, feel like they have to choose between inner work or outer action. But I don't believe we actually have to choose. To me, the most powerful response is both. One is what I think of as feminine energy response: prayer, meditation, compassion. And the other is a masculine energy response, showing up in the world, standing for what matters, and taking visible action. For me, the most aligned path is compassionate meditation and compassionate action. So if my intuition tells me it's safe to attend, I go. And while I'm there, I'm still holding compassion in my heart. And by the way, just a little something that helped me feel safer, by the way, about going to these events. And depending upon the issue of your concern, you can check this out online, do a little research. Approximately 65 to 70%, and sometimes more, of the United States population wants to see these things: our Constitution upheld, legal paths of citizenship for immigrants, fair and just treatment of all people within our country. Now, I've heard conscious people say we should only take a stand for what we want, not what we don't want. Mother Teresa would agree with you, and in theory, I agree too. But here's where I see it a little differently. If 12 million people consistently gathering together at peaceful protests can create positive change, even if the rally is for no kings, I can hold in my heart what I'm for while I'm walking down the street with 12 million other people around the country. The momentum of this movement at this time in our nation's history is significant. So if your intuition tells you you'll be safe and you want to take compassionate action, you might consider attending a No Kings event, and I will be with you in spirit at the event. So for compassionate meditation, the one meditation I love to share is a 2,000-year-old meditation called The Holding, and you can get it below this video for free. I want to leave you with a question. When you look at what's happening in the U.S. right now and in the world, it isn't just about what we stand against, is it? It's about the future we are willing to stand for. So I'm curious, what vision and prayer are you holding in your heart for our future? I'd love to hear about your vision in the comments below. And if this dialogue has meaning for you, please subscribe so we can continue creating a conscious world together. Until next time, I love you and I'm holding you in my heart.